He wasn't just famous, he was untouchable, a symbol of perfection, a machine built to win, a name that didn't belong to golf anymore, it belonged to history. And then the story collapsed, not slowly, not quietly. Overnight, the image cracked. The headlines turned vicious. Sponsors disappeared. Fans turned into critics. The world didn't just watch him fall, it enjoyed it. The scandals weren't private, they became public punishment. A global humiliation played on repeat, and behind the cameras, the pressure turned into something darker. Painkillers, addiction, isolation, a body breaking, a mind splitting. His life didn't fall apart in one moment. It shattered in layers, reputation first, family next, then the career. Soon he wasn't a champion anymore, he was a warning. A before and after story. People used to prove that greatness always ends in disaster. And when he disappeared, most believed it was over. Not because he lacked skill, because the world doesn't forgive fallen idols. This is not a story about talent. It's a story about survival after public destruction. This is the story of Tiger Woods. Before the scandal, before the headlines, before the fall, there was pressure. Not the kind that motivates, the kind that compresses a person until something inside starts to break. Tiger Woods wasn't raised like a normal child. He was raised like a project. Every swing analyzed, every mistake corrected, every win expected. The world called it discipline. But discipline without softness becomes something else, a cage. From the outside, he looked unstoppable. From the inside, he lived under a constant demand. Don't slip, don't fail, don't show weakness. He became famous before he became free. He became a legend before he became a man. And when you grow up like that, you don't learn how to handle life. You learn how to perform. You learn how to smile while you're exhausted, how to win while you're empty. The trophies piled up. The applause grew louder, but so did the silence inside him. Because perfection is a costume you can't wear forever. And the moment the costume tears, the world doesn't ask if you're okay. It asks how entertaining your collapse will be. Then the mask broke. A crash, a rumor, a name in the headlines that didn't look real at first. And then everything accelerated. Stories leaked, messages surfaced, details multiplied. The world didn't wait for truth, it waited for blood. Sponsors dropped him, brands erased him. The same companies that once used his name to represent excellence now treated him like a liability. Fans turned cold, media turned violent. The fall wasn't private, it was global. Every mistake became content. Every silence became guilt. Every apology became weakness. And behind all of it, his body was breaking too. Years of pushing through pain had left him damaged. Back injuries, surgeries, recovery, relapse. Pain became constant, and constant pain demands an escape. Medication wasn't a luxury, it was survival, until survival became dependence, until dependence became a new prison. The public didn't see the nights, the isolation, the shame, the feeling of becoming a stranger inside your own life. They saw a headline, and headlines don't care how you got there. They only care that you fell. Then he disappeared. Not in a dramatic way, in the way broken people vanish, quietly, slowly, without explanation. Tournaments continued without him. New champions arrived, the sport moved on, and the world assumed the ending had already happened. But his body kept collapsing. More surgeries, more rehab, more attempts to return followed by pain that refused to negotiate. Each comeback ended the same way: withdrawal, injury, silence. His swing weakened, his confidence faded, his reputation stayed poisoned. He wasn't fighting competitors anymore. He was fighting his own spine. There were moments he couldn't walk normally, moments he couldn't sleep, moments when golf wasn't even the question, just movement, just functioning. And the cruelest part was this: the world didn't just doubt him, it mocked the idea that he could ever matter again. Because when people see someone fall, they don't want redemption. They want confirmation that the fall was permanent. So Tiger Woods became a ghost story, a legend turned cautionary tale. But somewhere in the background, away from cameras, away from applause, away from judgment, he started doing something that didn't look like greatness. He started rebuilding like a man with nothing left. Slowly, painfully, without anyone believing. Not even him, some days. He didn't return with confidence. He returned cautiously, as if his body could betray him at any moment. He played rounds that hurt. He trained through stiffness. He learned to accept pain as part of the routine, not to become great again, just to be present. Years passed. The comeback attempts blurred together, small flashes of brilliance followed by collapse. And every time it happened, the world repeated the same sentence, "It's over." But he kept showing up anyway, not because he believed in miracles, because quitting felt like agreeing with everyone who enjoyed his fall. Then, in 2019, something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically. It changed in the quietest way, the way reality shifts when someone refuses to leave. At Augusta, he walked the course like a man who had been here before, but didn't expect to belong anymore. He wasn't the favorite. He wasn't the future. He was the past trying to breathe again. Each hole became a test, not of skill, of survival. And when the final putt dropped, the crowd didn't celebrate like a sports crowd. They reacted like witnesses, because they weren't watching a win. They were watching the impossible. A man destroyed publicly, physically broken, mentally buried, standing again. The cameras captured his face, but what they couldn't capture was what it cost. The years of silence, the humiliation, the pain, the nights where nothing made sense. The comeback wasn't a victory lap. It was proof that some people don't return because they are forgiven. They return because they refuse to be erased. Tiger Woods didn't come back as the man the world once worshipped. He came back as the man the world had tried to destroy. The scandal never disappeared. The damage never reversed. The reputation never fully healed. But that was the point. This comeback wasn't about erasing the past. It was about walking forward with the past still attached. Most people want redemption to look clean, but real comebacks are never clean. They are ugly, slow, humiliating, filled with setbacks nobody posts about. They happen when nobody is watching, and that's why no one believed, because the world doesn't believe in second lives for people it already buried. Yet he returned anyway, not to be loved again, not to be forgiven, but to prove something smaller and harder, that a person can lose everything, family, image, respect, control, and still choose to stand up one more time. Tiger Woods didn't win because the world gave him a chance. He won because he kept showing up after the world removed every reason to. The comeback no one believed in became the one no one could deny. Some people don't come back because they are forgiven. They come back because they refuse to stay buried where the world left them.